Good morning. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. This is Beth. We are in a creative mixed media art journal. Scratch all that. That whole thing right there. We hiked on the other side. Unbelievable.
What do you have, Bella?
A fish!
You have your first fish? Second fish. First fish this year. Woohoo! Good job. Dark, dark, dark. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh my God.
Listen to the firecracker.
I know, but you can't see it in my phone. Oh my God.
Here.
2 o'clock in the afternoon. Somewhere down there's a dog.
Granddaughters, and they each have an animal. And the
He's just flexing on us. It's fine.
Actually, this very context.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, do you come every year?
This is my fourth year time.
Oh, okay. Well, cool.
There you go.
There's 2 herons out there. Uh-huh. I have never ever seen anything like that. There must be 200 of them. Oh. The boys have their slingshots.
Wave.
Okay, I started with this yesterday. We're on chapter 40, and he talked about the equator. And I keep forgetting the geography of the equator, which I need to know if I'm going to do this book. I didn't like it. And then too many children distractions, and it went downhill rapidly. So this morning I started over at dark 30. Everybody's still asleep. And I took off what I could. I did take off what I could, and then I decided to use one of my own papers that I've made from Procreate and different images off of Pinterest, copyright free, and try to do something else with the equator. Now I know I have a rubber stamp that's the world, but it's only like 3 inches, and I really didn't want to do that. Plus it's 5 o'clock and I didn't want to turn on any lights that would distract anybody else in the hallway. The bedroom light can go into the hallway. They don't live in the hallway. Not yet. Anyhow, so I'm trying to work with what I have right here, or put it on pause and finish it later. I gathered some of my paper and I got it to fit the book size. And then I have next to me, that piece of paper right there, are some frames and doorways and things like that that I've cut out for text boxes, and used those in I made those in Procreate too. So, and then I saw this little piece of statue and I thought, well, that'll be good over here. So I've cannibalized that off of some of the scraps and going to put it over some of the words that are obviously Italian on this piece of paper. The fact that they're different languages or different fonts for different languages does not bother me in the overall flow of this book. But for some reason today I wanted to cover up some of the Italian. And I was trying to figure out how I could cluster some of these. So I am spelling out this with this letter sheet, which I absolutely love that I got off of Pinterest. The word equator. Not sponsored by Pinterest, obviously. But it's a reminder for me where the equator line shows up, because he really doesn't stay on the equator. He's close to it, he being Mark Twain. And I'm not sure why I would love to talk to him if I had dinner with him and say, why did you title this book Following the Equator? Because you really don't, I guess geography-wise, he's as close to it in some places as he can get. And doing his speaking tour, because he is on a speaking tour during this book. And he's just reflecting his journey as an extra way to earn income, I guess, because at this point in his career, he was highly in debt in real life. And so he was doing the speaking tours to try to earn some money. His wife and daughter happened to be with him, which we didn't find out until page 300 and something the other day. So yeah, I cut out the letters equator, and I'm still thinking I'm going to have to just cut the camera off, and when everybody's awake, go back in with the stamp and stamp it somehow, and then add that to this page. But then my brain started kicking in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I love how this isn't a door. This red piece of paper that I'm gluing the letters on is a door. It's a red barn door or red old-fashioned building door somewhere. I've just turned it sideways, and I'm using that for my text box, and I love that. It gives it texture. I love the wood look of it. I just, to me, that's much more attractive than a piece of paper that's just painted even though I love the painted stuff, but this is cool. And it's cool here. We've had a couple cool mornings. In fact, this morning, as I'm editing this, we have opened the windows and got some fresh air in here since before May-ish. We had a cool spring, so we were able to keep our windows open longer than normal. So I would guess about May, we've had the air conditioner on without turning it off ever. And this morning was the first morning we turned it off and opened the windows, but they're already closed back up again. But that was nice. So here I'm trying to think how I'm going to put in my map, and I'm stalling, so I put the day on here, and then I try to I'm still thinking I'm stalling by putting my supplies away. And then I remember I have washi tape. That's a large roll of washi tape. And then I see these white spots, so I'm taking a gray Tombow marker and kind of just filling them in. They don't have to be perfect, they just have to be covered up. And I really like how this looks, but I still am not able to conquer the equator thing, so then I'm stalling some more with this washi tape that has stamps on it, and one kind of matches the color scheme, and I kind of put that around the other piece of paper that I glued on as a cluster. By the time I'm through, you can't tell what's glued and what's part of the paper, which I thought was really cool. And I also, here comes that washi tape, that really wide one, and yes, it's small also, but it matches the paper, and it's the globe, and you can see the equator line in it, and it's good enough to tell me and remind me where the equator is. And I'm just going to draw over it with a black pen, and it stands out even more, and I love that. Love that. That was a good solution to rather stamping and waiting for people to wake up in my book. Plus, I like the way it looks better than probably a stamp with my stamping skills. But I do want to cut it because I'm trying to eliminate as much as the lumpy left as I can when I get down the road here, or the next continent. So yes, this turned out so much better than what I had. And yesterday, I'm sorry I didn't put out a video, but it was just chaotic here. We have children trying to sneak and do things that they know they're not supposed to do, and that does not sit well with me because I think children should be heard and not seen and kept in cages. Not true, but oh, and then I put on here the power of the equator, and he also talked about funerals and um, the elements of the earth that matter to the people of Bombay or India as a continent. And so he had a sentence in there that said the power of the earth, the fire, and water, and the religion of the Hindus, and this they're part of their lives. So I thought that was cool. So I put in there the power of the equator, and then the power of funerals, and the power of earth, fire, and water, because that's what he said. And so that pretty much is what I did today. In the beginning of this video, I had a bunch of little videos. I was trying to clean up my phone, and I went through and got some old travel experiences and some neat things that happened to us that I just happen to have videos still on my phone. Here I'm trying to cut the piece of paper that I used yesterday to begin with, and then I'm able to tear off that other piece of equator. So yes, I love how this turns out. Thanks for watching. Yeah, the child. Yes, the child is stir crazy. She starts school tomorrow, but she's going to be off online the whole way with a tutor. So thank goodness that's all straightened out. We've already had schools close here. Crazy, crazy, crazy. The little girl next door has a fever. Thank God her dad is a doctor, and she just started school 2 weeks ago in person. And we're hoping it's just the beginning of school and all the kids get sick and like it used to be. He is going to take her to the hospital and get her tested since he has access to tests quicker and better than we do. And we are keeping Bella and Olivia separate because it's just not worth it for them to try to get together, even though we think everything's okay. But she does have a fever, and so we're separating them, much to their dismay, which is making it even harder for Bella to stay out of my hair for a few minutes at a time. So yeah, she starts school tomorrow. Cross your fingers it all goes as planned. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Sorry I missed a video, but it was just chaotic and nothing was working. And in lieu of that, I added some extra footage in the beginning here to give you some past experiences and past memories of trips gone by since we can't go anywhere. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks for putting up with my delay. Even though I don't promise to do a video every day, I like to because it's good for me. It's good for my psyche and good for my lifestyle. But it didn't work yesterday. So I will see you all tomorrow back on the equator.